Hello and welcome back to As to Oral Communication. As a teacher and researcher, I see a lot of different kinds of speakers. Those who are confident and controlled, and others who are nervous and still figuring out how to get their point across. And I've had people ask, don't you sometimes want to laugh at how bad some of these presentations can be? It might be hard to believe, but the honest answer is that I never want to laugh. Part of what makes me love my job is that I really connect with how hard oral communication can be. It's nerve-wracking to get up and just expose your potential weaknesses. I don't ever feel amused by someone's fear or inexperience. I empathize with what they are going through. In order to overcome some of these challenges, today's presentation focuses on key elements of how to speak with confidence. So what are some of the common fears when it comes to oral communication? Looking like a fool. Second, boring the audience. Third, being lost for words. Fourth, people noticing your nervousness. And then people hating the presentation or worse, getting up to leave. So we live in a hypercharged era in which people listen less and stake out their beliefs more adamantly than ever before. But if we can approach a room with a willingness to share, receive, and connect, we can find common ground and achieve our objectives more easily. And don't forget, have empathy for yourself as well, because it's a lot easier to improve if you don't beat yourself up every time you make a mistake or don't perform as well as you'd like. Being kind to yourself becomes easier too when you treat others with sympathy and respect, because it becomes easier to believe that your audience isn't judging you harshly if you don't judge others. Now, all of these concerns are valid. But what if I told you that there's a way to avoid them? For the first step, you need to prepare your environment. So ultimately, you want to calm your nerves, knowing that you've spent the necessary amount of time preparing not only your presentation, but also your environment will ease that nervous feeling. The tools that are available to you might be a laptop or a tablet, a microphone, possibly if you want to speak into a microphone, maybe a projector if you are going to use a PowerPoint presentation, etc. A special case like the one we are facing today, you are learning remotely and will most likely be asked to submit your presentation in a different format. Now, back in our classes, when students share their thoughts and opinions in a face-to-face setting, there were always students who nodded their head in agreement, and it makes you feel like someone is on your side. I am sure there was comfort in having someone on your side. The immediate nonverbal feedback is refreshing. However, now you will have to deal with not having that type of support. So in this case, your environment has to do with where you choose to record, with which device, in order to ensure clarity if you are going to record your presentation, or when is the right time, what tools could enhance your audio presentation, etc. So preparing your environment beforehand is crucial. Now for rehearsal, you have to deliver a successful presentation, and for that you will spend a lot more time preparing for your presentation than you will be speaking. So even highly experienced speakers must devote time to preparation, including rehearsal. So from what I have observed, one of the biggest hangups that presenters have about rehearsal is the concern that they will appear too scripted. They feel that if their performance is too smooth, they will come across as slick, overproduced, or inauthentic. I have actually found the opposite to be true. The more you plan and prepare, the more comfortable and spontaneous you will appear and sound. Now, I would like to give you an example. The example is actors. Actors will easily spend over 100 hours rehearsing for a stage show. They work their lines, practice their movements, think through all the relationships, explore all the nuances, they try different things. And ultimately, the result of all that preparation is freedom. I mean, that's right, freedom. The script is no longer a straitjacket. It's so thoroughly embedded in their consciousness that it flows forth naturally. So it's the difference between riding a wave and swimming against the tide. So freeing yourself from the worries about what comes next and how something should be phrased allows you to live in the moment, play with the material, and dare I say it, have fun. Now, regarding the topic, you shouldn't allow the topic to petrify you or to scare you. It is critical to be able to stand up, present ideas clearly and confidently, and effectively communicate the credibility of the message. So the one thing you will need most when speaking publicly is confidence, of course, and nothing undermines your confidence more than being absolutely clueless about the topic you are supposed to present on. There are two ways to avoid getting rattled. First, you can pick a topic you are an expert on, but if that is not an option, you can cram as much knowledge as possible into your brain before delivering the speech. So ideally, even get some hands-on experience with whatever it is you will need to talk about. So when you master your topic, the likelihood of looking like an utter fool decreases tenfold. So investing time to improve communication skills, it's vital and it's worthwhile. But while the purpose is to convey a message and prove it's relevant and credible. So you must know what you are talking about. You have to research your topic. Step 3 is have a stunning presentation ready. Before you open your mouth, your audience will also form an impression of you just by looking at you if you are presenting in front of an audience. So how you stand, your body language, your slides, if you're using a PowerPoint presentation, it's very imperative that you spend time crafting a stunning presentation. It's just as important as the speech. Now, one tip I would like to give is a story arc. So you need to have a stunning presentation, and when using an arc, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Tell a story that connects to a more personal side of your life, but remembering to stay on message. Admit to failure, maybe. It may feel like you are opening up yourself to criticism or mockery, but it's more likely that people will admire your courage. Every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Know your story well and take your listeners on a journey. While you must spend the majority of your time on the main points of your presentation, you must lead your audience logically from point to point so they can enjoy and appreciate the progression. So practice as if your life were at stake, but also be sure to provide a mental bridge that transitions your audience from the beginning of your speech to the middle and from the middle to the end. So mental bridges should be used anytime you connect one thought to the other. So even the most influential speakers rehearse their presentations weeks in advance. If Steve Jobs managed to get that into his undoubtedly extremely busy schedule, what is your excuse for not being able to? Rehearsing is crucial. You need to spend extra time on polishing the opening and closing sequences and rearranging words and sentences until they feel just right? You can omit what you feel is unnecessary and add what you feel would enhance your presentation. So it all ties back to confidence. If you have rehearsed well, your confidence is high, and that shows when you present. A smooth opening will occur and you will encounter no awkward pauses. Best of all, feeling secure about the opening line takes away much of the nervousness immediately before you present. And once you are past your first sentence, you are in what we call the flow. My talk for today. Thank you.